Hello, welcome back to Leeds Lately. Today we're going to be watching a little bit of football where the players are actually good and the teams are actually good. So this is going to be interesting for a change on this channel. Actually get to watch some good football. Welcome, Michael. Welcome to the chat. How are you doing, mate? We've usually got you on goal updates, but this is the only game on tonight as it's the Champions League final, so you can divert all your attention to the game. Evening, Mike, as well. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, like I said, I just hope that we get an entertaining game tonight because after a season of absolutely terrible football for Leeds United, it'll be nice to watch hopefully some good football, see some good goals and see a good Champions League final with some of the best players in the world. Welcome, John. Welcome as well to the chat. Hope everybody's having a good weekend at the moment. It's been absolutely red hot where I am. Welcome, Formula Sonny, as well. I'm just going to call you Sonny. I won't do Formula Sonny every time. But yeah, like I say, just nice to actually get a good game of football down us. If anybody's seen my video earlier today, or even if you haven't and you want to talk about current stuff at Leeds 49ers and where you think's going next and all that sort of thing, then feel free to put that in the chat as well, because obviously this is a Leeds United channel primarily. So yeah, if you want to know anything about that or you want to discuss anything like that with me, then give me a shout and we can talk about Leeds stuff as well. I imagine that we will throughout the stream, really. What do we think of the graphic, by the way? My normal streams, that bit either side of the scoreboard is white, but I felt like tying everything together with the stadium makes it look a bit more professional. I don't think it's the 49ers that were invested in Sampdoria. It's just Radrizzani and his investment group, ASA. The 49ers didn't have anything to do with that, and they didn't actually know that he'd offered up the stadium as collateral on the loan. But he did. They got annoyed about it. I think the first they'd heard about it was when Phil Hay spoke to them about it. So yeah, I think that's what the start of the end, really. And they no, I don't think so. Let me have a little look. I don't think they were. Oh, Italian reports claim 49ers Enterprise is involved in Andrea Radrizzani's Sampdoria takeover. But there's only one thing, and that's from Leeds Live, and I think it's just saying that an Italian report has claimed that. But who knows, really? Maybe they were funding that to help get him out of the club. But yeah, I didn't even know about that, to be honest. But I don't think it's something that's happening now, at least. They had to help him in order to get him out. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Michael saying, with the 49ers takeover, I hope they continue with the policy of the old regime of recruiting good young players like Joffrey Drama and Somerville, which is an wise investment to Leeds in the long run. Yeah, it certainly is. And I think the mistake that the old ownership made was that they didn't bring in experience as well as youth. I think that's been the biggest issue for me, is that although they brought in a lot of young players, they didn't really bring in anyone who was an experienced player to help Leeds in the tough situations, and I think that killed us in the end. So yeah, I think we do need to invest in a little bit of experience as well this time. Yeah, and have that balance, really. John Garside saying Rads will need bodyguards if he appears at Elland Road. Lol. Yeah, I don't think he'll be coming back, to be honest, other than to get his stuff, clear out his desk. Formula Sunny saying, I don't want 49ers to be anything to do with Radrizzani. Yeah, but like the other people are saying, it sounds like if that is true, they were just trying to help him so that he gets out of the club and then they can have full ownership. And maybe that was one of the conditions Radrizzani said he would leave if they helped him get Sampdoria, but who knows, really. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. I probably won't keep tabs on Sampdoria, if I'm honest. I will be fully invested in Leeds this season. Just the players are in the tunnel now, can just see them. Lineups are either side of me as well, by the way. They've actually got more subs in the Champions League than they do in the Premier League. So I've actually left out a couple of subs for each team of people who I don't think are going to get on. But that could backfire. But it doesn't really matter. We'll just have to play it by ear. Gary saying, I think they lent the money he would have got from the ground. Yeah, probably. And instead of offering it up as collateral, they gave him the money or whatever, and then get him out, and then he can obviously pay them back in the long run, which is probably more of a loan to them than to a bank instead. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, like I said, teams are in the tunnels now, just getting ready to go out onto the pitch for the Champions League final. I can't see anything other than a Manchester City win in this game, to be honest. I really can't. But I think we're very biased because we're English. But the Italian side, they've got to a Champions League final, so they must be good. Anyway, back to Leeds. Michael saying, I'm not going to get carried away with the 49ers takeover. I've noticed one content creator let's win this league. It's best to wait and see what they do, hoping for too much, but the hope will kill you. Yeah, I agree with that as well. And the thing is, we need to get a director of football in, a manager in, and then start recruiting players, because those players need to fit this new manager's style, and they need to be all in on the manager and invest in him, because we've seen that when a manager inherits a squad of players that don't really fit the style that they want to play, it doesn't always go very well. So yeah, hopefully they really invest properly in the manager, whoever it is, and that should get us up. Sorry, just moving that across a bit of a better angle. There we go. I just pulled my headphones out. There we go. Got sound again. Sonny saying the way us and Villa battled in the Championship, look at us now. That what investing properly does. Yeah, there's the investing, and there's also getting the right manager. And after Bielsa, we really needed to pick the right manager, and we didn't. And that's the thing, really, in the long run that's killed us. Unai Emery coming in, whilst Villa did get it wrong a couple of times after Smith, they eventually got it right with Emery. And he's lifted them to be able to play in a European competition, and they've just got Yuri Tielemans for free from Leicester because his contract was over. So yeah, great dealings from Villa. Gary saying, did you see the City fans lay flowers and a scarf for Chris and Kev in Istanbul? Yes, I did actually. That was a really nice touch from the Manchester City fans. I think it was removed by some Galatasaray fans who are saying horrible things, but they just want a rise and they just want people to bite, so we won't give them the satisfaction. But yeah, respect to those Manchester City fans who did put that there for Chris and Kev. Michael saying, I expected Manchester City to beat Chelsea last time they were in the final, but as soon as Chelsea took the lead, they were inspired and City couldn't break them down. Yeah, that was a bit of a weird, and it was a bit of a crap Champions League final as well. It's nice when it's not an all-English Champions League final, isn't it? When it's England versus England, it's like, oh, this could just be another bloody Premier League game or the FA Cup or something. So it's nice when it's teams from different nations, because you get a little bit of a different thing, like they've never played each other before with these current sides and all that sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? So it adds a little bit of spice to things. Remember to smash that like button as well. We've got 19 people in the chat and only 8 likes, so let's try and get that up a little bit, because I know this is not a lead stream, so I might struggle to get that many people in here. They're just going through the lineups at the moment. I think Stones is playing in midfield, you know. Let's hope KP gets some minutes. Yeah, I'm hoping he does as well. I've put him down as Yorkshire Pearl on the subs bench to hopefully inspire them to bring him on. I've actually got a signed shirt of him up on the wall there as well, which you can't see. I could show you, actually. There we go. So hopefully that inspires Man City to bring him on, because I know Pep will be watching this in the tunnel. Michael saying I expected Lukaku to be playing tonight, but instead they are playing Dzeko at 37. Yeah, I mean, is it because Dzeko's a more clinical finisher? Because you know that Lukaku needs a lot of chances to finish his dinner, and he's missed some absolute sitters in his time, or is it that he just thought tactically we'd be better? They're a similar type of player though, really, other than not really. You won't really catch Dzeko trying to break in behind anymore. Dzeko and Martinez up front. I noticed, and I didn't really realise, but at the World Cup, Lautaro Martinez is really profligate in front of goal. He risked so many chances in the World Cup that Argentina put on a plate for him, and I couldn't believe it, really. I thought, well, he is a good striker. Let's not get that wrong. He is a good striker, but he needs a few chances to get his eye in. I'll say that, and he'll bang in the first one he gets tonight, but I don't know. Maybe it was just World Cup nerves, but then this is the biggest game in club football, so I'm just getting ready to press play on the timer. And we are underway in the Champions League final. Onana with the ball. The only problem with Inter is I can't actually tell who's who because I'm not used to their team. So I know who Onana is. I've seen him play for Ajax a lot of times and Bastoni and stuff, but it's quite hard. Some of them have got similar haircuts, as that long pass there just goes straight out of play for a John Stones throw in. It seems weird not commentating on Leeds players. It's just commentating on players that I don't actually support the team of. John Stones then takes the throw in just over the halfway line. Bernardo Silva tries to take a touch and it's taken off them. And now Barella with the ball. Barella, who's an excellent young midfielder, who's up there with the likes of Bellingham and Camavinga and stuff at the moment for his quality. Dzeko's just taken a really bad touch and it's gone out of play. Yes, Dzeko was at City. Dzeko won the league with City. I think he won a couple of leagues, with them. But that was years ago and he's still playing. Manchester City going to take their goal kick then here. Edison with it. Clears it out wide. Now Akanji. Akanji, who's been unbelievable. I think they signed him. Manchester City signed Akanji for £7 million, and the Swiss centre-back has been absolutely unbelievable for them. Such a good signing. And it just shows as well, obviously, Akanji would never have gone to Leeds. But it just shows that if you do your business right, you can get players for such cheap prices who are going to do you an absolute worldie of a job. Ake just clears that one. Bernardo Silva back to Akanji, and Akanji clears up to the halfway line where De Bruyne is challenging for it, and it's gone to Brozovic. 49ers takeover could be a win-win for them in the long run because they would have to pay more than double if Leeds are in the PL, and if Leeds are promoted, then the club's valuation rises. Yeah, it rises back to what they would have had, so they'll make a massive profit if they do that. And it's well within their interest to keep us going towards European football and stuff if we can get back up, because they'll just make more and more money. Haaland in the box, Haaland shoots, and Jesus Christ, it nearly took somebody's head off that. He hits it so hard, Haaland. Michael saying, if we sell our best players, who do you think will command the highest price? Tyler Adams. Tyler Adams, for me, at about £30 million is probably the highest we'd get. Then if Sinistera wasn't so injury prone, you'd probably get a decent whack of money for him, but other than Tyler Adams, I can't see many people going for very much money, to be honest. But yeah, if anyone's going to go for the most, it'll be Tyler Adams for about 30 million. Who's the most outside the box signing you'd like to see next season? See, this is a difficult one because I like to base it on. I like to base it on who the manager is, so that I can find a player that fits. That fits for the team. So I can't. Do you know what? I can't really think of anybody off the top of my head because I'm so used to basing all the signings on. Gundogan's just fouled Barella. Well, it's a little tap on the side of the head, and Barella's gone down, holding his skull like he's just been shot by a sniper. But yeah, most outside the box signing. I can't really think of anybody, who's not quite an obvious one. Yeah, John Garside saying about Coventry and Borough for Akpom and Victor Gyökeres, but there's also Hamer as well for Coventry as well, and they're not. I mean, it was quite unlikely that they'd get to a playoff final, and they managed it. So I don't think they're going to manage it again anytime soon. So potentially we could poach a couple of their players, and if we've got the money to pay the wages, they could see it as a good and exciting project to come to. Rodri does really well there to take it past Brozovic. Now the ball with Grealish and Gundogan. Gundogan towards the edge of the box, gives it into John Stones. John Stones takes a touch, back to Rodri, out wide to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva looking to come inside the box now. From the outside, shoots, curls past the post. Excellent play there from Man City. That Hamer is a right player. John Garside saying we need a new back four and a couple of midfielders. Well, if we could keep hold of Verba, we did a video on Ollie Ward's channel where we went through the whole squad and sort of without signings built the best squad we could from it. And we said you'd have Verba at left centre-back, Cresswell at right centre-back, Rasmus Christensen at right back, and I think we said that we'd get a new signing at left back because we haven't got anybody good enough. Yelder would go on loan again. But it's a difficult one because we were saying how Drama and Cresswell shouldn't really play together because both of them are so young. You kind of need an experienced head next to one of them. And I don't know whether it should be Cresswell or Drama who gets the game time. Maybe Drama and then bring in a right centre back and send Cresswell on loan again. But yeah, it's a difficult one to navigate. But yeah, we definitely do need some signings. Thoughts on James returning? Yeah, I actually think Dan James will tear it up in the Championship, and I'd have him as a starting winger. I think that the Premier League is a little bit too high of a level for him, but the way he is, just with his pace and stuff, I genuinely think he could be really, really good for us in the Championship. Nobody's going to buy him for as much as we bought him for. I don't think ever again in his career. But I think he could do really, really well in the Championship, and I would actually genuinely start him as a winger, especially if we're playing out-and-out wingers. Somebody else said something. Oh, yeah. Michael Brown said Leeds should adopt the Salzburg policy of signing younger talent ready to go in the first team. He said Haaland 7 million, Minamino 5 million, Aronson 5.5 million. Yeah, and Nonto's a good example of that as well. Players who you think are maybe not quite ready, but they're worth the gamble for a couple of million. Like there's the range of like the Matteo Josephs and stuff who we bought, and the Gelhardts and stuff who we thought, yeah, that's a future first teamer, and we paid about $1 million for them. And then there's your Nontos who you pay a little bit more for, and they can go straight into the first team. And in the Championship, you could see quite a bit of that. So I'd like to see us picking a little bit of the best from the Championship that we can, like Victor Gyökeres up front. Sell Bamford, get Gyökeres up front, get Hamer in, and maybe a few other Championship signings, and then maybe go a little bit rogue with some foreign signings as well, which I will actually be doing videos on. But yeah, like I say, I'm waiting for a manager to come in so that I know what sort of players will fit their style. And then I'll try and do a little bit of research on some players that you may not have heard of that could actually be really good signings, and hopefully the 49ers watch it. Gary Mel saying, as a guy who's been watching every season in the Prem, I would like to say that this City side will go down as the best team I've ever watched. Do you guys agree? Well, I was born in 97, so I wouldn't have really started watching football that much until I was like over 10 years old. So probably in my lifetime, yeah, the City teams of the last couple of years, they've just been incredible, haven't they? They're so good. It's good to watch as well. I mean, they've done a lot of cheating to get where they are, in terms of all the financial doping and sort of stuff that they're getting a suspended 2-year sentence ban from European football for, and all that sort of thing. But yeah, if you actually just concentrate on the players and the management and everything like that, they have been absolutely incredible, and probably they would be up there. They probably would be up there with the best Premier League sides I've ever seen. Michael saying Somerville hasn't got a relegation release clause in his contract, so if he wants to leave Leeds, can put their foot down and command a sizable fee. Yeah, that's true as well. I think you've got to keep one of Somerville or Nonto. You don't keep both. Just the way things are going to go, I think. Çalhanoğlu now gives the ball out wide to DiMarco. DiMarco curls the ball into the box, headed away by Diaz, only to the edge of the box. But Manchester City have managed to escape here. But Gundogan's pass has only gone as far as Bastoni, who's managed to shield Bernardo Silva out for a throw-in. Who would I like as manager? I was talking about this in my video earlier today. If you haven't seen that, check it out after the stream. But if you go for somebody like Daniel Farke, he probably gets you promoted. But when you're back in the Premier League, is he good enough to keep you up? And he's not. He's proved it on multiple occasions with Norwich. Yes, he didn't have a budget, but if you're a good enough manager, you should be able to do enough to be the fourth worst team in the league, if you get what I'm saying. So you don't want to have to come up and then instantly swap your manager, do you? So Brendan Rodgers is somebody who, if he had a bit of backing, which he didn't really have at Leicester, you could probably see that he would do quite well in the Premier League with investment. But it remains to be seen, really. Mike Balanoff saying, what do you Leeds fans think of Tyler Adams if he's to leave as rumoured? Will fans understand like Rafa or Calvin, or will he be viewed as disloyal? I don't think he'll be viewed as disloyal because we've been relegated and he wants to further his career. I would absolutely love him to stay. I think he'd be the best player in the Championship by a mile. And Çalhanoğlu just whacks it right over the bar there. Oh my God, they've kept it in. Stone's now battling with Martinez, and it's going to be a goal kick there. But yeah, I think he'd be unbelievable. I think anybody would be silly to have a go at him for leaving, because you've been relegated to the Championship and he's used to playing Champions League. So yeah, I just think he needs to be convinced to stay. They've got the money, they've got a project to build to sell to him, so it could happen, but I doubt it. Gary Mel saying, do we think 49ers will go all out for Rodgers, as he would be my choice? I think so. I think if they pick someone, they're going to put enough money behind it to convince them, because we need to go straight back up, really, for their investment to be worth it. And considering they are an investment group, it makes sense that they would. It makes sense that they would want us to go back up and make their money back. Sonny saying, do you think we could chuck a load of money at Potter, Rodgers, and maybe land one of them? Yeah, there's Potter as well, but he's not really been in the conversations, I don't think, has he? In the odds and stuff, to actually be the manager. But I'd like to see maybe, yeah, Potter could be all right as well. But that one remains to be seen, doesn't it? Ake now on the ball. I feel like we should talk about this game a little bit. It's Champions League final. Grealish does well there to get it back to Akanji. Now Bernardo Silva with the ball. Chips it forward to Gundogan's little flick on, and then dealt with well there by Damian, I think it was. DiMarco now facing up against John Stones. Tries to curl the ball into the box. It goes over everyone, and then Barella tries to cross in. It's gone out off Ake's head for a goal kick. Sorry, a goal kick, a corner to Inter Milan. AO saying the 49ers need to talk to Johnny Giles and David O'Leary and how to build a decent squad who can beat the best of teams. Yeah, Ake just had to head that then. What the 49ers need to do is get a director of football who really just knows what he's talking about, knows what he's doing. He doesn't play it too safe, and he doesn't play it too left field, a bit like what Ortu was trying to do, revive a lot of people's careers and stuff. But I think you can maybe afford to do that on one player, but not the entire set of signings. God, it's hot in here. DeMarco takes the corner shot to the edge of the box where Barella clips it in and Haaland heads it away. And then Darmian's going to take it all the way back to Onana, who can pick it up halfway inside his half and give the ball back to Brozovic. Brozovic must be knocking on now as well, mustn't he? I think he's 37, 38 odd. I think he's been around for absolutely years, but he's such a good midfielder. Sonny saying mad how Foden doesn't start for this City team. Yeah, it is really, and Grealish is keeping him out of the team in this game. I would personally play Foden over Grealish. Martinez, good tackle there from Ruben Dias, and then the ball into De Bruyne's feet. De Bruyne now out to Bernardo Silva. Silva does well to check inside and back to the halfway line where Rodri can pick it up. Rodri pings a ball down the line to Jack Grealish. Ooh, Grealish's touch was just a tad heavy and it was taken away from him. Somehow is an Inter Milan throw-in. Gary Mel saying, I feel our problem was in the last 3 years in the Prem, we only signed one player with Prem experience. Yeah, we did. And also, when we came up, we were told that we would be picking the best of the Championship out and pulling them up with us. And we didn't sign anybody from the Championship. It was a very, very weird time. I don't get why they completely just went back on what they'd said. Doesn't really make sense to me. But yeah, I think you've got to have that youth and experience mix, and that's not what we've had, is it? Michelle saying afternoon from rainy Vancouver. Family was saying it's been a hot one. Yeah, it is absolutely roasting. I live about an hour and a half from Leeds, but yeah, it's been like 29 degrees today. And I'm sat in a little box room in my house, my office, my Leeds Lately studio. I've got the window open and I've got a fan on my camera, so it should keep it cool and not overheating, but it doesn't stop me overheating. Okay, now with the throw in. Ake wangs one towards the centre circle, but it's headed away by Darmian. Lautaro Martinez does really well there, but Brozovic has managed to take the ball. And then I just heard Jack Grealish go, "Our ball, that's our ball." I also my concern with the 49ers is they're going to keep us until other investors buy the club or are the 49ers here to say. It's difficult to know really, but I think all they know is that they maximise their investment most by getting us into European football and then selling us as a European team. Because then they'd get so much more money for us, especially with a bigger stadium. If they develop the stadium, get us European football, then you feel like they almost double, triple, quadruple their investment. So yeah, maybe that's the long-term plan, really. Michael Brown saying, I'd like to Leeds to build from the back over 2 PL seasons because they did 156 goals, yeah. Leeds are averaging 2 goals a game against a well-drilled defensive unit and 2 strong keepers. Yeah, I actually really like Robles, and I think he'd be one of the best goalkeepers in the Championship. I'd like to keep him as our first choice, to be honest. Give him a 2-year contract, keep him as our first choice keeper, and get a young keeper in to learn from him. Melier won't want to sit on the bench. He'll want to be a first-team goalkeeper now, and you can understand why. Probably get a decent bit of money for him. Good header there by Haaland down the line for Grealish. Serbi's done really well there. and he's backheeled it. Was that off Grealish? Oh no, it's going to be a Manchester City throw-in. Will the 49ers keep us as the selling club? Well, they've not really got... I don't know if they own any other football clubs or soccer clubs. Because if they did, you could understand that they'd be a feeder club for one of their bigger clubs. But I think Leeds is the first team. So if anything, you'd have other teams being a feeder club to Leeds. I'd like to think that wouldn't do very well for their investment if we became a selling club. Bernardo Silva does well there to get it back to Ederson. Rodri now with the ball, carries it into the Inter Milan half, tries to give it out wide to Bernardo Silva, and DeMarco's got the ball and he's now charging his way up the line. Gives it inside to Brozovic. Brozovic, good little pass into Lautaro Martinez, shoots and flies wide. Slices that. Good option on was there for Barella, I think, on the right-hand side. He could have, Brozovic could have slid him in there, but decided to go for the shot and in the end absolutely blazed it over the bar. Welcome, Dan, to the stream. Dan's a Liverpool fan. That's why he's saying come on Inter. And I imagine that the scummy side of Manchester will also be supporting Inter tonight. But I hope we get none of them in our stream. I don't mind you, Dan, because you're Liverpool. And also, you're literally my mate. But wouldn't want any of them Manchester United scum in here. Gary Mel, one for the older fans. Who would win our championship winning team or the Champions League team of our 2000-2001 season? So yeah, I couldn't tell you on that one because I was 3 and 4 years old, so I wouldn't really been old enough to remember that. De Bruyne with an outside of the football there, but it's gone and bounced all the way through to Andre Onana. Bastoni now with the ball. Gives it to Acerbi. Acerbi clears. Up to the halfway line. Well brought down there by Denzel Dumfries, who's actually a right wing back. Çalhanoğlu tries to get through there, but Aki does wear it really well to take it off him. It's a bit scrappy, this. %60 possession to Manchester City, but yeah, like the commentators are saying, difficult for them because Inter just keep coming in and yeah, taking a little bit of a hitting the Manchester City players with a little bit of a tasty challenge every now and again, and just stopping Manchester City really getting in the rhythm. They haven't had much Manchester City in the way of chances. We won't be a selling club. They stopped the Harrison sale. Yeah. I'd be happy if the 49ers made Eric Cantona our technical director. Would you? That would be a bit of a strange shout, I think. Good ball into the box. Manchester City. Grealish with the ball. Ake now. DeMarco's gone down off the ball here. I might have to make a substitute on the screen already. Grealish with a good tackle there. Mike saying Inter really holding their own so far. Much different than what we typically see with Prem teams versus Manchester City. Yeah, they've been a bit more aggressive, aren't they? And Prem teams seem to sit off a little bit because they're a bit frightened of what Manchester City can do if you do go out at them. But Manchester City seem a little bit hesitant to actually try and put that final ball through because Inter is so into the challenges on them and stuff. Saying that, though, Rodri's just put, I think it was Rodri, just put a tasty little challenge in on DeMarco, and that's why he's still down. That was a handball, I think, from Brozovic, and it wasn't given on the edge of the box. Oh, maybe it was Bernardo Silva. Long throw in there by Dumfries, and then Dzeko does a really good pass out to the left-hand side where DiMarco picks the ball up. DiMarco's been very busy tonight, up and down that wing and winning balls, and he's been absolutely everywhere. He's been really good. Now Damian. Into Barella and then out to Dumfries and back to Damian again. I don't think we will get Gerrard, and I hope we don't, because apparently he just didn't really have any idea at Villa, which shows how easy the Scottish League is, given what he was able to do there. And so I hope we don't get him. I think whoever we get will be able to get some good loan signings, because we'd be the team that people sort of expecting, or one of the teams people are sort of expecting to be able to get back up again. 49ers will be ruthless in their quest to get Leeds back to the Premier League. If they see the team not in the mix and the manager won't last long, at the end of the day we're a business who will set goals. Yeah, I can imagine that. So they need. The thing is that means that they need to get this right in the first place, don't they? They really need to get right who they get in as a manager in the first instance and who they back, because that's what we ended up having him with March. We backed him, but he was the wrong manager. So then we've backed him with signings that don't really suit anybody else. So yeah, a bit of a hard one there, because they have to get it right. Bernardo Silva now with the ball. Now Gundogan tries to play it forward into Haaland. Haaland with a lovely touch there, and De Bruyne just slips as he's trying to take it through into the Inter Milan box. Barella now with the ball after a little bit of a mistake there from Manchester City, but Diaz has recovered well, and Ake is able to get it all the way back to Edison. Oh no. Oh. Given away there by Manchester City, and Barella is actually chipped that wide, and it could have been a goal there for Inter Milan if it had been accurate. It was a bad touch from... it was a bad pass from Edison to Stones, and then Stones slightly misses the ball, and then Barella tried to chip the keeper, but just wasn't accurate enough. But De Bruyne now with the throw-in. Back to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo cuts inside. Looking for options. Inter Milan are very good at stopping Manchester City really having any space to play here, and that's probably going to be their game plan, which, to be honest, will make for a little bit of a chess match rather than an exciting game of football. But you can see that if Manchester City score first, then Inter Milan have to then go and get a goal, so the game might be more exciting if Manchester City score. If Inter Milan score, it's going to be the opposite, but they're just going to try and kill the game in every way possible. So we're kind of hoping for a City game, a City goal from... And we've nearly got one. Oh my God. Ball through to Haaland in the box. Onana makes the save. Now Rodri. Rodri cuts back and forth, gives it back to Grealish. Grealish trying to chip a ball into the box, headed away by Dumfries. Akanji out wide. Now Bernardo Silva up against DiMarco, coming inside the box. Flicks it back to De Bruyne. De Bruyne tries to clip it to the back post and just clips it over the crossbar. In the end, De Bruyne with a really good pass into Haaland for that chance we're just watching back now. And Haaland it was getting away from him, and he hit it across the goalkeeper, and Onana was able to save it with his wrist there. But that's the best chance we've seen in this game by a mile. By the way, Manchester City's new kit, the one for next season, they're still wearing the current one, but the one for next season, their kit it's one of the nicest kits I've seen. It really is one of the nicest kits I've seen. Proper retro style, but been brought into the modern day. It's absolutely lovely. Oh, Çalhanoğlu lost the ball away. Bernardo Silva's now giving it away. Barella tries to get through, and Ruben Dias does a very good job there. Carries it into the midfield. Out to De Bruyne. De Bruyne cuts inside. De Bruyne is going to shoot, and it bounces straight through into Nana's grateful grasp. Gary Mel saying, I feel we're a sleeping giant. As you can get the right investment, we can be like Newcastle as our fans are everywhere. Absolutely. There's fans in America. There's fans in Argentina. There's fans in Australia. There's fans in Norway and other Scandinavian countries. We've got fans absolutely everywhere, and we really could go places with the right investment. Barella now, just over the halfway line, gives it into Dzeko. Dzeko trying to hold Ake off. And Ake's put a foot in and taken him down there. Oh no, De Bruyne is injured. Or he's gone down. Phil Bailey saying if Leeds are looking for a good loan prospect, then they could do a lot worse than young Conor Bradley, right full-back, wing-back from Liverpool, who was the player of the season for Bolton in 22-23. Yeah, so the thing is with that though, we need to. We've got three right backs. Ayling, who's obviously sort of coming towards the end of his career. Rasmus Christensen, who's about halfway through, and then you've got Drama, he's that perfect mold of player that you want as a up and coming young fullback. And he's had a brilliant season with Luton. He's crossing into the box, his tackling, his recoveries, everything. He's been really good, and he's only like 21, 22, I think. So, yeah, I think Cody Drama has us covered in that department for a young, exciting right fullback. We need a left back. That's the main thing. We need a young, exciting, or even a bit of an experienced left back, somebody who can come in and do that job straight away. Michael S. saying, have people underestimated Inter Milan? Yeah, I think so a little bit. We're so used to, as English fans, seeing the Premier League teams, so we kind of just think that the Premier League teams are just going to win. But Inter Milan, they've got a very good team. Like I was saying before, Barella, their midfield actually, Barella and Brozovic are so good. Barella's like a really young, attacking number 8 box-to-box midfielder. He's excellent. And then Brozovic just sits behind him and just cleans everything up. And then you've got Çalhanoğlu as well, who's excellent free kick taker, excellent set-piece delivery. He's got an absolute strike on him, and he's got a good pass on him as well. So their midfield is really, really good. And then when you look at the back line, you've got Acerbi and Bastoni. Bastoni is like the sort of understudy to Acerbi, who's a little bit of an older centre-back, but Bastoni is going to be one of the best centre-backs in the world, probably. And then you've got Dimarco and Darmian, who Darmian's had a bit of a renaissance to his career at Inter Milan, and has been really good for them. You've got Dimarco and Dumfries, full-backs. Dimarco, the more quick and agile and tough tackling of the two, and then you've got Dumfries, who's an excellent physical player. He's a physical presence. He's a bit taller. He's still quick as well. And then you've obviously got Lukaku on the bench, but you've got Dzeko and Martinez up front. They've got a very good team, and the bench as well. They've got De Vrij, who's also a really good centre-back. You've got D'Ambrosio, who's a good full-back. Skriniar, good centre-back. Lukaku, obviously, who I mentioned. And then you've got people like Robin Gosens, the German wing-back, who's also a really, really good player. So, yeah, this Inter Milan side is a very, very good side. I don't know if I just cut out there for a little bit. I hope everybody heard what I was saying, because I basically just analysed the whole Inter Milan side in about 30 seconds. Now Ake with the ball. De Bruyne is still playing, but he did go down as if he was going to be injured before. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. Thanks, Caroline. Yeah, I just sort of was talking about a few players, and I was like, oh, F it, I'll do the whole team. Now Rodri, ball into Gundogan, who's also been absolutely unbelievable this year. I think people underrate Gundogan. He's one of the best players in this Manchester City team. But then when you look at all the players, they're all just so good. There isn't a weak point. I say as Diaz just falls over the ball there. Sonny saying, Max, I've seen you at I think I've seen you at one of the games this season. Do you sit in the cheese wedge? Yeah, I haven't got a season ticket. I've got a membership, so I just go whenever I can. But yeah, a lot of the time I will be. If I go, I will be sat in the cheese wedge. So you probably have seen me. I've been in the cop. I've been in the northeast corner. I've been in the northwest corner. I've been in the cheese wedge. I was going to be in the East Stand Upper, which was going to be a new experience for me, but that was when there was all that snow and stuff, and I sold my ticket back to the club because I was worried I wasn't going to be able to get there. That was for that Brighton game where we drew 2-2. It cleared up in the end, but I didn't want to risk it, considering, like I said before, it takes me about an hour and a half to get to Elland Road. Now De Bruyne. Stones back to Akanji. It's so weird that Stones just plays like he's literally stood on the right wing at the moment. But he's that good with his feet that he can play there. De Bruyne trying to cross the ball into the box. Gone over everyone, and it's De Bruyne's crosses keep. I think De Bruyne has to come off, Burnley and Sheffield United both kept a core group of players that were relegated from the PL into the Championship with new good additions, got back to the PL. Yeah, exactly. Good shout. Is Sander Berge still at Sheffield United? Oh, De Bruyne is going off then. There you go, De Bruyne off. Oh, I've put in the wrong sub. I wonder why it wasn't coming up. There we go. That's the sub. Yeah, he is. Because at one point I was really thinking that Leeds should sign Sander Berge. But obviously, yeah, he's been promoted again, so he'll want to play back in the Premier League now. Didn't KDB get subbed off and injured last time in the Champions League final? Yes, that was Rudiger fractured De Bruyne's eye socket, and he was bruised and battered for weeks after that. But yeah, he's had terrible luck in Champions League finals. Oh, I always say this, but I've forgotten to say it tonight. If a goal goes in for either team, don't put it in the chat. Please don't put it in the chat until you've seen me react to it, because if I've not reacted to it yet on your stream, I haven't seen it yet. So the delay is not that bad that I will have seen it by the time your message goes in. So yeah, please don't put if a goal goes in or anything. Yeah, Inter Milan are actually just flying at Man City here, trying to force them into making a mistake. Well done by Grealish there. Won a header against Dumfries, but Dumfries is going to do really well to shield him and then do a bit of a silly dive and get a free kick. Oh, look, there's Calvin Phillips. Just got a glimpse of him, the Yorkshire Perlo on the bench. DiMarco plays the ball wide, and Dumfries is in here on the right-hand side. He's looking for options. And he kind of just didn't make a decision, and now Barella with the ball. Back to Brozovic. In Manchester City have chased them all the way back to their own half. Gary Mel saying, by the way, Max, just want to say on here, well done to all those who did the 92-mile walk. Yes, actually, yeah, forgot about that. Yeah, I was going to say that. Just Joe as well, who I've done many streams with and stuff. He was on that as well, so well done to Joe and well done to everybody else, including Matthew Lewis and his brother who did it as well. Matthew Lewis, who played Neville Longbottom in Harry Potter. He did it as well. And obviously the guys at the Square Ball who organised it. Well done to everybody for raising money for such a great cause as the Andy's Man Club. So I'm sure if you go on the Square Ball socials, there'll be links to donate to the charities that they were doing that walk for. So yeah, thanks for reminding me, Gary. Oh, no. Clears the ball out to Damian. My God, it's hot in here. Foden's obviously absolutely excellent, but De Bruyne is just like next level, isn't he? And I feel like they are going to miss him. I feel like De Bruyne is the one who plays the pass to win the Champions League final, and he's gone off. That might turn the tide in Inter Milan's favour as well. Manchester City have had a lot more possession, but it doesn't necessarily mean that Inter Milan have been the worst team. And they've not done much with the ball when they've gone forward either, Inter Milan, but they're defending stoutly and are really putting it on Manchester City to do something. Rodri now with the ball. And Akanji. Foden tries to flick it around the corner, but it's taken by Brozovic. And now Brozovic has it back again, but now Rodri has it, and the ball's changed hands in midfield again. Now Foden. Who's my five-a-side Leeds all-time team? I think I'll put Nigel Martin in goal. Lucas Radebe as the defender. That's two. Let's say Pablo Hernandez as the little tricky player who's so good with his feet. Finisher. You've got to have a bit of a striker as well. You'd have Mark Viduka in there, I think. I can only go off sort of players from my lifetime. Oh my God. That's weird. Gary, your team is like exactly mine, and I was on 4 and I was just about to go for my 5th. I don't know if I would have said Gary Speed, but it'd be an excellent shout. I'm going to go for someone who I've seen in my lifetime. I'm going to go for Calvin. I'm going to go for the exact same team. And then I'm going to go for Calvin Phillips, because Calvin Phillips can play centre-back and central midfield. And I feel like he'd be a good player in a five-a-side team. Win you the ball back, and then he's got a ping on him as well. Foden out wide to Grealish. Grealish tries to cut inside. Now Foden again. Gives it into Rodri. Rodri to Ake. Now into Gundogan. Bernardo Silva. Yeah, that's a good shout actually by Steve McManaman. I've noticed that DeMarco backs off Bernardo Silva a little bit. And that could be the one where they create a bit of space. They're sitting so deep into Milan. They're so tight as a defensive unit. De Bruyne is just sort of, if you look at the pitch in thirds, a lot of the time he's just isolated up there on his own, just with about 3 defenders concerned with him. At the moment, you can see that there's 4 players putting him in a box and surrounding him. Michael saying, I still feel that Everton, Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest were the teams fighting relegation next season, more so Everton if they deducted points due to financial irregularities, as that case is pending. Yeah, I would like to see Everton go down, to be honest, and us come up and replace them. Grealish just having a little bit of a go at the ref there, and he might get a yellow card for this. Oh, I think I'm just going to move my chair in. Oh, that's nice. There we go. I've been sat up straight the whole time, and I've just leaned back a bit now and just spread out. Just relax. It's not Leeds. The result doesn't matter to us, so we don't need to worry about it. There's no anxiety, apart from what we're talking about for the what's going to happen this season. But Manchester City have a free kick here. Martin, Kelly, Batty, Yeboah and Speed. Good shouts as well. Foden then to take this free kick into the box with his left foot. Foden's clipped it all the way to the back post where Rodri is. Rodri, that's unlucky from Rodri. He tries to cross it into the box and it hits Lautaro Martinez, comes back, hits Rodri on the back of the heel and goes out. When do the fixtures for next season come out? That is a very, very good question. 23-24 EFL fixture release. Thursday the 22nd of June at 9 a.m. There you go. Haaland tries to flick it on there, but it goes to nobody, and Inter Milan able to go back to Onana again. John Garside saying City look confused here, to be honest. City. Yeah, they do, really. They're not used to such a good team playing like this against them, because usually the good teams in the Premier League try and play a little bit against them, whereas this is sort of what we tried to do against them. But instead of our players, they have actually really good players into Milan, and so they're able to do it so much better than when we did. 2 minutes added on, by the way. 2 minutes. Champions League nights and Gina Cup. My favourite times as a Leeds fan. The football we played was fantastic. Harvey, Big Jack, Strachan, Pablo, Viduka. A lot of people saying Pablo. Pablo, I just think he'd be really good in a five-a-side team. That's 3 of us now that have said Pablo. Ake now with the ball. Stones with the ball. Out wide to Bernardo Silva up against DeMarco again. A key battle here. Bernardo Silva back to Akanji. Akanji has a shot. Flies over the bar. Welcome Juan Martinez to the chat. The best and most reliable source of Leeds United news in the Twitterverse. He's saying, is that a retro dark sky blue Manchester City shirt you're wearing? No, it is a Leeds United shirt. As you can see, Leeds United AFC, Admiral Sportswear. Thank you very much, sir. Onana to clear this one long. 20 seconds left then of this first half. Doesn't look like there's going to be a goal. Inzaghi telling them to attack. And it's going to be a free kick to Manchester City there. Sorry, I just shook the camera then. That is half time. I am just going to go and fill my water bottle up and just have a breather in somewhere that's not going to kill me of heat exhaustion. So I will be back in 2 seconds. And when I come back, if I start talking, you can see my mouth moving, but you can't hear me. Remind me to unmute my mic, because I have done that before and I am an idiot. So just, yeah, I'll be back in a second. Ask any questions you want in the chat, actually, about anything really, about Leeds or this game, and we'll discuss it when I get back. Juan? Excuse me. What was that about? Keep it muted, mate. I'll give you a minute to apologise. And if you don't, you can sling your rock. Favourite shirt for me is the 93 to 95 kits of the Thistle Hotel ones. Yeah, I had one of those. It was a copy of the retro one. But nevertheless, they do look nice, those old Thistle Hotel ones. I would like to see us bring back a bit of a retro modern mix kit now, because that's what Manchester City have done with us. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's so nice. Just Google 23-24 kit Man City. It's such a nice kit. And don't jump on that, Juan. I'm surprised that big organisations invested in teams don't do it in the Championship with clubs that have a big fan base, as they could buy into those clubs at relatively low investment. Yeah, you've had Forest were flapping around in the Championship for years and years, weren't they? And somebody could have bought them, or somebody could have bought Leeds and got us back up. Or people tried, didn't they? But not people with enough money, really. But yeah. I think you forgot to unmute, mate. I wasn't busy. Yeah, I'm only joking. So that was a joke. That bit it was all a bit. It was like a. In a dream team, we can have James Milner, Alec Cantona, Johnny Giles, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, and Harry Kewell on the bench. Phil Bailey saying Alvaro Fernandez from Scum is an option on loan for left fullback at Leeds. Easy for me to say. He was a young player of the season for Preston last year. Yeah, I think that's probably a good shout. I feel like we should get, because we haven't really got any left backs and Firpo's off, we should get an experienced left back who's going to be the first team starter, and then we should get somebody in on loan, a bit like Alvaro Fernandez, who I don't actually know anything about, so I'm just guessing. I'm just trusting you from what you've said. But yeah, somebody young like that would be a good shout to have as a left back option behind one of the other players, more experienced. What's your favourite type of water to drink, mate? Leeds Lately water, and you only get Leeds Lately water if you subscribe to Leeds Lately, so just make sure you do, and then you can drink water like me. That's a good question, really interesting actually, Juan, thanks. God, it's hot in here. Why are they changing BT Sport to be called TNT Sports? Nice, mate. I don't want your water. I'll stick to seawater. You've absolutely lost your head, Juan. Good thing about being in the Championship is that at least we'll get to see us win some games, hopefully. Yeah, I tweeted that out and people were saying, oh, don't put all your eggs in one basket and think that's going to happen, us win more games than we lose. But I was like, we could literally come mid-table and still win more games than we lose. We're guaranteed. Honestly, when Radradani said it's impossible for us to go down, yeah, ridiculous. But for me, it is impossible, right? It is impossible, and I'll say it now, clip this up all you want. It is impossible for Leeds United to win less games in the Championship than they did in the season they got relegated. We won 7 games in the Premier League last season. We are going to win more than 7 games. It is impossible for us to win less. Okay? Thank you. When do Leeds play again? We've got a friendly against Scum, and I can't remember when it is. Somewhere in Scandinavia. Leeds versus Scum. Oh, nothing's coming up. July 12th, so 2 days we play. I don't know if there'll be anywhere to watch it, to be honest. But I don't know who's going to be in our team. Yeah, I googled Leeds versus Scum. Do you think it's strange that Leeds are trying to hire a manager before they get a director of football? Yeah, a little bit. But it's kind of a fresh slate, isn't it? So it could work reverse engineered. Another break and then we're back on again. Do you know what? Oh, taking my headphones off for a minute because it's made me really hot. And yeah, if my hair looks slightly different, I literally went in the bathroom, threw a lot of cold water over my head and face, dried it, and then filled my water bottle up and came back in. So, yeah, I was trying to cool down a little bit. I'm just like, I'm excited to make a load of videos on what's happening and what's coming, all the changes and stuff. But like, it's not happening quick enough. I need a manager, I need a director of football, because then I've got 2 videos right there, and I can start making videos about all the sorts of transfers that would fit this team with that. But it's not happening quick enough, and I need it to. But obviously the 49ers news only came through yesterday. Formula Sunny saying, why do you support Leeds? It's just, you support who your dad supports, really. My dad was from down south. He was born in Crawley, and he grew up supporting Leeds. He was born in 1963, so when he was like growing up and picking a team support, Leeds were like the best team in the world, and so he chose Leeds. And then me and my brother have been Leeds since birth, because that's just the way it is, really. And you pick who your dad supports. And then he met my mum and moved up north, and I was born. And yeah, so I used to live like 2.5 hours away from Leeds, and now I live about an hour and a half away. So I'm not really that far away, especially those of you who are in America and stuff. You'll think that's like no distance at all, but in England, that's still quite a little bit of a journey, given like the relation to the size of the country. But yeah, Gary Mel saying DC or Marvel. I know it's not football related. Ooh. If you're just talking in terms of what's happened with the movies, then Marvel. But like actual source material and comic books and stuff, I'd go for DC. But yeah, it's the movies for Marvel have just completely killed DC, so I'll go for them. Favorite ice cream? Tell you what, have you ever tried those Biscoff ice creams? You know, the ones on the stick with the chocolate on the outside with Biscoff and then ice cream. Oh my god, literally the best ice cream in the world. I thought you lived in Spain, Juan. Favorite home and away shirts: Admiral white and yellow, and yellow shirts with Admiral all down the sleeve. Yeah, I hope I like them to bring some sort of elements of those sorts of older retro kits back into the modern day kits, because that always makes for the nicest kits. Mark B saying, dumb question, do you guys get all the championship games on TV in England? No, we don't. A lot of them actually aren't on the TV. I think there's a lot of them are on iFollow, like as in just the letter I follow is an app. And and then I think there'll be some on like LUTV and stuff on the actual Leeds streaming service thing. So I'll be able to get them somehow, but I think I'm going to go to a lot more games this year, because it's just going to be a year for building and coming back up again. You get some match day vlogs talking about the games and stuff. So of all the players available from Serie A, why did Leeds get McKennie? Well, Leeds got McKennie because Juventus were in a financial situation where they had to offload some of their wages. So we took McKennie because he was sold because he's American, and we had Jesse Marsh in charge. We had his mate Tyler Adams, Brendan Aronson in, and we had the 49ers in the background, and it was like sold to him as this will be really good for you. You'll feel at home, all that sort of thing. And I think it was all those reasons came together for him to come. I don't think that necessarily would have made for somebody of his caliber from a club like Juventus would have come here if it wasn't for all those things. Sonny's saying 10-minute drive from the stadium for me. I'm a local guy. Yeah, that would be nice. But I can't move that far away because of work and stuff. Michael saying, I would like to see Leeds play with 3 forwards with pace similar to what Brentford do with indented forwards, and Burmo and Visser either side of Tony, and Burmo will be Brentford's main forward as Tony is absent. Yes, he is. And I honestly think Dan James would be so good as a winger in the Championship. Then Victor Gyökeres through the middle, and then maybe Somerville or a new signing on the left wing, or Somerville, Nonto, whoever we can keep hold of on the left wing. That could actually be really, really good. There we go. There's Calvin walking down the tunnel. Juan said he's never had Biscoff before. Well, that's just disgraceful. Yeah, we need a yellow kit this year. Rumours are the home shirt looks quite nice if true. Yeah, hopefully. They give us a nice kit, because I mean we've got Adidas. They could really do as a good kit, really. Nike and Puma kill it with their kits, but Adidas just seem to do templates. Juan's asking if I could be born in any year before the year 1800, which would you pick? And if you really want to, what historical famous person would you want to be? One second. I would like to be born, Juan, in the year 1090 as King Arthur. Michelle saying, me too, Sonny. I'm originally from Bramley and Pudsey. And then Mark B saying Biscoff Flames. Yeah. I mean, I like this chat because there's no anxiety about Leeds, really. It's just like random questions and chatting shit whilst watching two of the best teams in world football play each other. So, yes, I like the vibes. Media source 2. We shall... There we go. Get that ready. If that leaked white kit is real, give me an all blue away and an all yellow as the third, and I'd buy all 3. I don't think... have I seen the white kit? I'm going to Google it. Oh, we started. Bloody hell. There we go. Oh, I have seen it. It's the one with like the peacock things. Yeah, I do like that, to be fair. That is nice. The thing is, it always looks nicer without the sponsor on it, doesn't it? I like the way that the Adidas hasn't got Adidas written on it. Chinese takeaway or Indian takeaway? I've got to go for Chinese takeaway, I think. I would go for that more often. We're underway again here, by the way. Just as we're talking about Indian and Chinese takeaways. I can't do my McDonald's order as well. Oh my god. Pizza or Domino's? Domino's. I can't do my whole McDonald's order. I like that white kit, the new one. It just needs a nicer sponsor, and we don't have one. Favorite type of bird? A robin. Actually, a peacock. Look at the Leeds Lately badge, and you'll find yourself a peacock. Now the ball with the kanji. Gives it to Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva clips one towards Hull, and it's just headed away easily. Manchester City look a little bit out of ideas. Chair or sofa? See, I like this chair. This is a proper good, comfy gaming chair. But I do like sitting on a sofa. Do you know what? I feel like I need to sit down a little bit again. Oh, God, my back. Maybe we should zoom that out slightly. You don't want to see me that close. Nobody wants to see that. Marsh or Big Sam? Marsh. I prefer Big Sam's personality in some aspects. Like he makes me laugh sometimes with his like trying to hand that fiver to the linesman and stuff. I like that stuff, but the other stuff as well. He's like, no tippy tappy football. Most goals come from playing out from the back. It's terrible. He should never play like that. He is a bit of a dinosaur, and I think his time is gone. And I think that Marsh, with a lot more years experience, could do well as a coach, but. Dan James' main problem is his decision making. Is your reasoning that he will do better in the Championship because he'll have less time to think? It's more that I just think it's his level. Like the players that he's up against are worse, and so he will just play better naturally because he was really good for Swansea in the Championship. Before we were going to sign him for like $5 million. And I think going back to the Championship, he'll have a little bit of a revival of his career. Going back to the game, mate, your cuteness distracts me. See you later. All right, bye, Juan. Bastoni across to Damian. Damian into Acerbi. Acerbi clips one out to DiMarco, who tries to flick one down the line, but Akanji's there to just clear it into touch. Favourite ground to visit other than Ellen Road? Mine was St James's back in the 90s. Well, the thing is about St James's is that yes, it's a very good ground, and my brother actually lives in Newcastle, but the stadium, the away end is just crap because you have to, it's so high up, so far away from the pitch, you have to walk up all those stairs to get to the top, and yeah, I just which stadiums have I've been to Turf Moor, I've been to the Etihad, I've been to Old Trafford, I've been to Bernardo Silva now has the ball in the box, tries to clip it across, and it's taken away by Barella. Oh, he's done really, really well, and DiMarco's able to send it down the line. I've been to Goodison. I've been to a few more actually, but I can't remember what they are. I've been to Ewood Park actually. That, you know, that pre-season friendly before the start of this season, I went to Ewood Park. Where else? I've definitely been to a few more than that, I think. I tried to get to all like the Northwest games. I didn't get to the Liverpool one. To be fair, some of them are probably on the channel. but I just can't particularly remember off the top of my head. Gundogan's down now. Michael Brown saying West Ham United victory should give inspiration to the non-big clubs with the right recruitment. A club with similar stature to Leeds can achieve success. Well, that's what Villa will be looking at, won't they? Villa have got that spot, haven't they? They've got that Conference League spot next season, so they'll be the ones that are looking to emulate the success of West Ham this season, and they'll be taking great inspiration from that it can be done. I think that's what's great about that competition. A lot of people saying that competition's crap, but it's what's good about that competition is that you get teams who wouldn't usually win with a big chance of winning. Foden brings the ball clear, even though it looked to be a foul there. And now Grealish has been brought down, and it's going to be a free kick to Manchester City. The away end at Goodison. Yeah, the away end at Goodison, all the seats are wooden. I think the egg came first because I think it was born from another animal or something and was just like a mutation. I don't know. Maybe I'm just chatting shit. Foden and Grealish over this one. Foden takes it, curls it towards the back post. It's gone over everyone. And out for... oh no. Akanji's tried to keep it in and taken it out for a throw-in rather than a corner that it would have been. The delivery's got to be better on some of these set pieces. Okay, into Rodri. Good ball there towards Stones. Stones takes... oh, Stones' feet. Now Gundogan. Yeah, Inter just absolutely swarm on whoever's got the ball. John Stones. John Stones has got good feet, you know. A big lumping centre-back, and he just takes it in and out of players in the Champions League final. It's ridiculous. Stones has been unbelievable this year. He's one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League by a mile. Yeah, Calhanoglu dived there in front of Foden to get that. Lautaro Martinez now with the ball, looking for options. He's got somebody inside. Calhanoglu tries to shoot, but it's blocked. And DiMarco's going to get there, though. And he's got support in the form of Bastoni, the number 95. DiMarco into the box, headed away, but only as far as Lautaro Martinez again. He's going to let that run for a throw-in. He's England's best centre-back by a mile, mate. Yeah, definitely. We need another centre-back to come through, really. I mean, Ben White could be that. Could be that centre-back for England, but he does need a few more years to develop, I think. I wouldn't want a young keeper as Robles backup, but a keeper that is ready to step in if Robles has a dip in form. Until Robles came along, Ilian had no one to challenge him. Yeah, that's true as well. Or the same and there's the likewise but reversed and Robles on the bench, but I would like to see Robles start because I think he's brilliant. What's happening here? We've got a substitution. Lukaku is going to come on. Dzeko off, Lukaku on. I like the centre back at AC. Just can't remember his name. At AC Milan. Oh yes, Fiacco Tomori, who was at Chelsea, then went on loan to Derby in the season where they beat us in the playoffs. Then back to Chelsea, had a year or two there, and then went to AC Milan. And is been really, really good there. But yeah, Fiacco Tomori. Dumfries tries to put a ball in, and Akanji's able to clear. We'd love to get Chris Richards on loan from Palace. He's not getting any time there, and he's probably our best defender. I'm assuming you mean our best defender as the US men's national team. Yeah, I'd take him. Definitely would. If we could get somebody on like that on loan. I think we will do a few loans, so it's a possibility. I mean, if we did go up, we could get him permanently, but have to wait and see how things play out. What sort of centre backs the coach, whoever it is wanting to have, whether it be ball playing centre backs or just solid defenders. Ben White has fallen out with Southgate when he left England squad to return back to the UK during the World Cup tournament. I don't think Southgate has picked him since for the England squad. Yeah, I forgot about that. I'd like to see a different coach come in. I knew that I knew that England weren't going to get to the World Cup final. As soon as we drew France, it was like, that's it, we're done. And I just don't think he's that great. I don't think Maldini would go to Leeds. Oh my God, Akanji's just left it and Martinez is in. Great save by Edison. Akanji's had a right lapse in concentration there. Oh my God. Oh, John Stones. Johnny Bone Stones. Oh, John Boy. He's done brilliantly there. Now Phil Foden's trying to drive through. He's brought down. That's a free kick to Manchester City and a yellow card for Nicolo Barella. Bloody hell. Now it's getting tasty. We thought it would in the second half. Maldini's an out-of-work director of football. Yeah, and he'd be unbelievable, but I just don't think he would go to a championship side. I don't know whether he'd want to take a role in management or something as well, but oh my God, yeah. Kanji just points to Edison and says, you have it, and doesn't realise that Lautaro Martinez was right there. I feel like that bloke from Middlesbrough. That bloke from Middlesbrough is probably a good shout because he knows the Championship. He knows what sort of players would do really well at Leeds through the Championship, and that's probably what we need to sign, the best of the Championship. Free kick that Grealish is given to Gundogan short, and now Gundogan to chip into the box. John Stones heads over the bar. Oh no, it wasn't John Stones, it was Ruben Diaz this time. Evening, Ibo. Any chance you'd give me an in-depth analysis on Gary Monk's hairline? No comment. No comment on that one, I'm afraid. Whoever the assistant director of football from Brighton is. Yeah, I don't. I'm be honest. It's directors of football is one of those. It's one of those roles where you don't really hear a massive amount about them unless it's your director of football, or unless it's one that's just pulling worldy signings out the bag all the time. But yeah, I actually don't know anything about them, but I know that Brighton have had some excellent signings over the years, and they just keep making loads of money off them. So yeah, if there's somebody that's part of that and somebody that's to do with that, then yeah, I definitely take them at Leeds because they've been unbelievable for Brighton. Game's becoming a little bit more stretched here now. Dumfries does really well there, but he hasn't really got any options. Luke Varney or Ross McCormack. I think I'll take Ross McCormack in that situation. Big Sam's put his name up for director of football. I can't even imagine what sort of signings he'd try to. He'd probably try and sign Charlie Adam and Dean Whitehead. Yeah, the passing's just not been that crisp, has it, in this game? And Manchester City are usually reliant upon that. Nearly pulled my headphones out again. David Weir, the old Everton centre-half, was promoted from assistant to the main director of football at Brighton. All right, I didn't know that. It's going to be a Manchester City throw there. Chicken tikka or lamb biryani? Chicken tikka. Michael Brown was watching former Leeds player Mirko Antonucci at 38 play for FC Bari against Cagliari in Serie B playoff promotion first leg. He scored a last-minute penalty in a 1-1. Yeah, I forget about these players that came through, and there was Pavel Cibicki, and that was the same era, wasn't there? Giuseppe Belushi, and yeah, some very odd and quite crap players came in and out through all those times. But that's when Chilino was trying to sign half of Serie B. Brozovic looking for an option. Barella out to Bastoni. Bastoni, the centre-back, up on the left wing. Crossed into the box. Leeds need to change our style where we play with the sweeper so our defensive midfielders can feed our right, left backs to feed our attacking midfielders to unlock defences for our strikers. Under Radrizzani and Orta, they always said that they wanted to play a different, an attacking brand of football and a football that played a certain way. But Bernardo Silva, though, breaking into the box. John Stones puts it into the box and it's gone out for a City corner. But yeah, maybe we'll go for something a little bit different now that the 49ers are in. I quite like to see a bit of a balance of being good at attacking and good at defending. That's kind of the ideal, isn't it? That's what everybody wants. But we've not really had that. We've either had one or the other. Grealish is going to take this corner then. Oh, they've stopped it. Someone's pushing and shoving in the box. Stones and Bastoni. Stoney and Bastoni pushing each other, I think, in the box. Now Akanji pushing round Darmian as well in the box. Grealish puts the ball in. Bernardo's going to be a free kick to Manchester City, to Inter Milan here, because Manchester City's pushing, persistent pushing, deemed by the referee. Maybe Silvestri is available, lol. Oh, God. It was Silvestri, and then was it Peacock Farrell straight after Silvestri, or was that way later? Because I know there was Vivold as well, wasn't there? Felix Vivold, or Wiedelvold, what was he called? Felix Vivold. Peps looks like he's written something down on his notepad and he wants to be changing something in this game. And I don't blame him, because it's not going greatly at the moment. Maybe Thomas Christensen or Steve Evans. Bloody hell. They were dark times. I mean, Christensen wasn't that bad. It's just that he came from the Cypriot League, so he didn't have a great amount of experience, and then yeah, things never really went perfectly for him. Also watched a slimline JKA play in the semi-final of FC Basel versus Fiorentina in European Conference League. He actually looked good, but tired in the later stages. Did he score? I don't think he did he? Otherwise we'd have heard about it. But yeah, that was the most ridiculous signing we've ever had. Oh, Stones has got such good feet. He knows when somebody's behind him. He's got a sixth sense. Stones is not even a centre-back anymore, is he really? He's a central midfielder, which makes it even more impressive than what he's doing. Now Gundogan with the ball. Gives it into Ruben Dias. Ruben Dias Great ball forward into Haaland, but Haaland's managed to get to the ball though. He tries to feed it into Phil Foden, but can't quite. Bernardo Silva now with the ball again. Into Phil Foden. Back to Akanji. Foden out wide to Nathan Ake. Ake into Rodri. Rodri into Akanji's feet. Akanji into Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva up against DiMarco again, trying to back him off. Bernardo Silva looking for options. Gives it into Rodri and then out to Ake. But Ake's left it for it to run through to Grealish, and now Grealish tries to chip it towards the box. Gundogan does well there. I feel like he may have handballed it, but we'll see. And I mean, if they don't score in this exact play, that won't matter. Oh, ball into the box, Akanji, and then Bernardo across, and then it's coming in. Rodri scores! 1-0, Rodri from the edge of the box. Really good bit of play by Manchester City, and they've finally gone ahead. I feel like the game's going to open up now. Great goal there by Manchester City. Akanji with an excellent ball forward, and then it's come to the edge of the box, and Rodri has blasted it in. Vivold, Rob Green. Oh, yeah, Rob Green. Lonergan as well, and then Silvestri. Yeah, it all blurs together, doesn't it, in your head? And then BP. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Peacock Farrell was still here when Bielsa came in. Yeah, just falls to Rodri. Lovely. Bernardo Silva excellent ball from Akanji then. Bernardo Silva tries to put it in and tries to put it in the box, and it just bounced perfectly to Rodri, and he just curls it round Darmian. I feel like Darmian could have got his arse in the way of that, you know. Now the floodgates open. Well, you could see that, couldn't you? Because they, they have opened up Inter Milan now, and Inter Milan are going to have to come out and try and score a goal, which is completely knackered their game plan, hasn't it, really? But somebody said, it's John saying, I can see KP coming on now. I hope so. I hope he gets a few minutes. I mean, I don't know if he will. To be honest, our last top-class goalkeeper was Nigel Martin, which is depressing because that was, 20 years ago now? Coming up. I'm hoping Erling scores a brace. Let's go, Leeds. Yeah, I forgot we got two Leeds. We've got two Leeds boys, haven't we? Haaland as well. Bastoni now, the ball to Darmian. Darmian clips it forward. Inter Milan are going to have to attack now. And a good hold-up play there, and curled into the box from Inter Milan, but it's back to Brozovic again after the block. Now DiMarco again with a second chance to put it in, but gives it to Brozovic. Now Brozovic is going to curl it into the box, and Çalhanoğlu's tried to head it, and then it's going to Akanji, and then, oh my God, it's hit the bar. Oh my God, and then DiMarco headed it against Lukaku's legs. Oh my God. And Manchester City have won a won a free kick after that. Oh my God. That was Akanji again with a little bit of a panic there, I think. Lukaku just manhandles Akanji a little bit, and then DiMarco. I don't think it would have gone in even if it didn't hit Lukaku's legs, because Ruben Dias was there. But yeah, DiMarco tried to chip it with a header and then came back out, then headed back in again, and then it came off Lukaku's legs and was cleared. But bloody hell. Yeah, good few chances in there, as Michelle's saying, for Inter Milan to score, and they couldn't quite. Just to imagine all the Man U fans if City matched their treble. Yeah. Which trophies was the Man United treble? Because was it including the Champions League, or was it the League Cup, the FA Cup, and the Premier League? Oh yeah, they won the treble, Premier League, FA Cup and UEFA Champions League in 1998-99, and the first and only side in English football to do so. Well, Manchester City are about 20 minutes away from it. If only Man City had won the Carabao Cup as well, because they would have bettered Man United's treble, and it would have been so tasty, so lovely. I would have lapped that up. Lautaro Martinez into Lukaku. Lukaku into the box. Lukaku shoots. Saved by Ederson. Can see 1-1 extra time and pens. So can I, actually, Alisson. Good shout, yeah. I can imagine that would be on the cards here, because as soon as Inter Milan have started trying to play a little bit, they've actually created 2 good chances, and it's not taken them long to do so. So you can imagine them getting a goal back here. Bastoni is absolutely breaking up the wing, and Rodri's done really well to defend him there. Do you know what I do like as well in a kit as well? We were talking about kits before. I like a centralised badge, and I think a Leeds kit could look really nice with a centralised badge with the Adidas underneath. Yeah, I think that could be... I support every team who plays against Man United. Yeah, me too. Michael saying, I really feel Calvin needs to leave City for either West Ham or Villa for the sake of his club and international career. Yeah, you could. Yeah, and he would still get European football, and he'd probably get first team game time if he could stay fit. I mean, he's gone to Manchester City and he's now won a treble if it stays like this. So he's done what he needed to do, what he wanted to do. So now he can come back to Leeds and play for Leeds again. Bernardo Silva breaking forwards. Bernardo Silva trying to get away from DeMarco, but DeMarco's all over him. City need another goal and then shut up shop. Yeah, I'd say they do. Yeah, it looks like Akanji's going to come off. Oh, Akanji off. Kyle Walker on. I hope Leeds goes back to the single Yorkshire Rose badge. What, this one or one of the other? Because there was other ones that were similar to this, wasn't there? Wait, that's the wrong side. I'm trying to show you this. Will Dallas be available for next? He should be. He should be, but whether he's the player he once was, that remains to be seen. But if he is, then I think he'd be brilliant for us in the Championship. Oh, Robin Gosens is coming on as well. Bastoni and Dumfries are off, and Bellanova is actually City's free kick into the box and headed away, but only as far as Grealish. Grealish going to try and give it back into Bernardo Silva here. Bernardo Silva into Gundogan. Bellanova has come on for Inter Milan, but I didn't actually put him on the bench because I didn't have enough slots, because I'm used to the normal Premier League with the amount of players that we've had on the bench, and I'd never heard of him, so I didn't put him in. So unfortunately you can't see that he's come on, but he has come on. Bernardo Silva now. Akanji still is on the pitch, by the way. I see that Bellingham has gone to Real Madrid for crazy money. It's weird, isn't it? Like, he's gone to the top too soon for me. Like, oh my God, excellent turn. Good save by Onana. Really good turn by Foden there, and good run through and shot, and then saved by Onana. I feel like Real Madrid are replacing their entire midfield with really young really young, physical, athletic midfielders, when they had very sort of technical midfielders in there before. You had Casemiro, Kroos and Modric, but now you're replacing them with Tchouaméni, Bellingham and Camavinga, who are all similar-ish moulds of players who are all sort of doing the same. I feel like it's like they're really good, but I feel like you should have one of those in your midfield, not all three. Do you get what I mean? Like, it seems a bit strange. Like, they're all like younger than 22, I think. I don't know how that's going to work for them. Grealish trying to win that, but he doesn't, and it's gone to Çalhanoğlu. Now to DiMarco. Lukaku with a nice flick on. Now Bellanova up against Grealish, and he's going to try and get the ball in the box, and it's going to be a corner to Inter Milan here. It wasn't a great shot in the end by Phil Foden, but the actual turn that he did to get through there was unbelievable. Kroos and Modric will be at Real Madrid for one more season. Benzema has gone. It could be Harry Kane as replacement. It could be, yeah, but then he wouldn't beat Alan Shearer's record, and I feel like he wants to. Corner in from Inter Milan. Brozovic now with the ball. Now Barella. Now back to Çalhanoğlu. Ball into the box, and it's flicked away by Gundogan and then curled in, but over the bar by Barella. Manchester City have got a hold on for 11 minutes, and they will win a treble, including a European Champions League win for the first time in their history. Wow, we are underway again. Ball with John Stones now. John Stones has slipped but played a lovely ball. Oh no, it's not quite got to Grealish. Oh, it has though. Grealish has done really well. Grealish with the ball into Foden. Oh, he tries to get it into Haaland and can't quite. Now Bernardo Silva. I tell you what you've got to give Inter Milan credit for tonight. They have kept Haaland quiet as a dormouse. They really have kept him so quiet. Inter's crosses haven't been able to clear the first line all game. Yeah, Inter, when they get on the pitch, they put crosses into the box, but Diaz, Stones and Akanji have been so good at just dealing with it and just heading it away that they haven't really troubled them. I still don't think Kyle Walker's come on. Bernardo Silva shaping up to take this free kick from a crossing position. He whips it in towards Onana, who's able to just pick it up. John Stones is down here, I think, in the box. Haaland is on a goal drought, hasn't scored an X amount of matches. Oh my God, his shirt's ripped in two. Stones. Don't know how that's happened. Is Akanji coming off or what? Because I bloody made the sub about 10 minutes ago and he's still not come off, I don't think. Looks like he fell on Robin Gerson's boot. Why are you showing me John Stones' armpit? And also, why does John Stones shave his armpits? That's a strange revelation. Oh, it's Stones. Stones that's come off, not Akanji. I think Stones has been one of the best players on the pitch. Stubble pits. Yeah, that is a weird and disturbing revelation. Why is he shaving his pits? No service, no Haaland. Yeah. And I think that's the difference between... Like, Haaland is amazing. He's a freak. He's unbelievable. But the difference between him and somebody like Lionel Messi, who I believe is the greatest player of all time, is that Messi could do it on his own. And people go, oh, he's got all that service. But, I mean, he dragged Argentina at 35 to a World Cup final and won it. So, Lukaku's just picked up a yellow card, by the way. But I don't think Haaland could do that on his own. And it's case in point that he doesn't score goals when he doesn't get the supply. Yeah, that was a foul from Lukaku. Michelle Lee saying, players that are on loan, do they get into the first team, e.g. Joffy and Cresswell? I think Cresswell could. I think Cresswell definitely could. I think Joffy is on the bench and maybe gets on if we play two up top. D'Ambrosio's coming on and so's Mkhitaryan. Hold on a sec. Çalhanoğlu was one of them, wasn't he? Foden tries to clip it into the box. And I think Damian was one of the other ones who came off. Oh. Mkhitaryan and D'Ambrosio are the ones who came on. There we go. You can see everybody who's come off and on apart from Bellanova. Stones is sus for shaving his pit. Grealish then to take the corner. Curls it in. Oh, no, easy catch for Onana. Wasn't your score prediction 4-2? Not looking good so far. I actually didn't make a score prediction in this game. I forgot. Usually we do score predictions in my live streams, but I didn't. Oh yeah, Jorginho Rutter. I'm bagging him to be excellent in the Championship. Really impressed with Onana as a keeper. Yeah, I don't know if you ever saw him for Ajax or Mkhitaryan with the ball out wide, gets into the box from Gersons and it's gone over everybody. I don't know if you ever saw him at Ajax, Onana. He was absolutely brilliant for them and then got his move, but he did. Oh, okay. Andre Onana got a 1-year drug ban from football because he had diuretic furosemide found in his urine, which is apparently his wife's prescription for her pregnancy. And he accidentally took it because he had some similar ones that he was allowed to take, and so he actually got a 1-year ban from all football, and then went to Inter Milan. Or that was that, and I can't remember. He got a 1-year ban from football, and his Yeah, he's back in now, but yeah, he's a brilliant goalkeeper. You have to be a good goalkeeper to displace Samir Handanovic from this Inter Milan side. And Handanovic, yeah, he's getting on in years, but he's a very good goalkeeper, Onana, to keep him out of the team. Haaland is still young and will be playing for us in his prime. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? It's a free kick there to Inter Milan. I was watching Joe's stream earlier today saying that Manchester City backroom staff, trainers, coaches amounts to nearly 50 personnel when they came out for PL celebrations. It's a huge setup. Yeah, it will be. It'll be massive compared to what Leeds is. I think there's teams, there's like a media team, Arsenal, for example, and I think there's like 25 to 30 to 50 people, something like that, between 25 and 50 people just for the social medias and all the media engagements and all that sort of stuff. And I think Leeds have like 2 at most. Don't quote me on that. If somebody's actually involved in the club, then tell me. But yeah, it's interesting to see the differences, and that's the difference between sort of the commercially being a big club. Mkhitaryan, Barella, now Mkhitaryan again, now Gersons puts it into the box. It's now with Belanova to Brozovic curls it towards the back post, Gersons across, Lukaku off the line. Oh my god. Oh my god. How the hell did that not go in? I don't think that was Ederson that saved it. I think it came off Ruben Dias. I want to see a replay of that. That was mental. Curls into the box and it's flicked on and it's going to go out for a Manchester City goal kick. Favourite clock manufacturer? I've gone blank. Yeah, he just saves it off his knee, and then Ruben Dias saves it wide. Your Texas twang just came out. Oh yeah. Let's get into this Champions League final. God, that was bad. Yeah, I don't know how the hell that stayed out, and the composure of Ruben Dias to just flick that wide past the post, unbelievable. Oh, good flick by Inter Milan there, and now Lukaku's with the ball, charging towards the box, shoots. Lukaku looks big, you know, like chunky. I know he always does, but he looks even bigger. He's just blazed that wide, Lukaku, and it gives Manchester City a chance to reset, and they'll be happy with that. Why is he just like wearing a white t-shirt under his Inter Milan shirt, Lukaku? This is like weird vibes he's giving off. I can't believe that stayed out. It's not a great header by Lukaku, by all means. Just straight down the middle, straight down Ederson's throat. 5 added minutes, by the way. In fact, you know what? I'll do what we do when we're doing Leeds streams. There you go, we're synced up with the timer now, 5 minutes. Be fascinating to see how Newcastle will get on next season, given their financial clout. They only lost 5 matches all season. I can't believe that they only lost 5 matches all season. It's how quick they went from 0 to hero is the most crazy thing. Usually expected to be like a process of a couple of years, but they've already got Champions League football in their first full season. to Inter Milan throwing, actually. Come on, Pep, get Calvin on. Yeah. Why is Onana pushing Haaland? Haaland's got a yellow card and Onana's got a yellow card, and Haaland's going, me? I'd support that decision to appoint Juan Martinez as director of social media. He'd have every Premier League club, every Championship club, every League One club on strings. Ake doing really well there, just shielding that out. Top Banana saying smash the likes. Yes, thank you, Top Banana. Oh, and it actually has gone up. 41 viewers, 41 likes. Three minutes left then. Woo. Nervous one for Manchester City fans. I bet they're absolutely cacking it. Oh, Inter Milan though have got a chance to put the ball in the box from this free kick. Yeah, that's it, Haaland. You go and match up with Lukaku. That's your best chance of him not winning that header. So far away from the pitch, the fans that are behind the goal. Curl in by DeMarco. Away, and then, sliced over by Barella. Imagine if that had gone in. That would have been absolute scenes. Michael saying, how is it that Archie Gray is playing for England, yet his father and grandfather, Andy Frank Gray, played for Scotland as well as his dad, his grand uncle, Eddie Gray. Well, it'll just be, I mean, like, technically, it's just because of where he's born. Like, if he's born in England, he's got the choice to play for both, and you probably would play for England, wouldn't you? But you'd imagine that those relatives would probably want him to play for Scotland. But you can change when you go. It's probably a better youth setup. It's probably a better youth setup at England than it is at Scotland. So even if he does England through the youth ranks and then changes to Scotland when he's at full-on first-team level, that would be a good tactic, wouldn't it, if you wanted to do that. Onana's going to send this one long now. Ederson comes out and catches it really well. Did you hear about the old man who fell down a well? No, I didn't. Go on, Mark. Ederson sends it long. He didn't see that well. Oh, Mark. Oh, Mark, what have you done? I must say the final has not been a great game. Yeah, it's... we should have sort of expected this, shouldn't we? Because we knew Inter Milan were going to sit back like this. Put this 30 seconds left, and it looks like Manchester City are going to win the Champions League. Finally lift that. I wonder if Pep will stay, or if so, how long he'll stay now that they've actually won it. It might be a new era of Manchester City after this with a new manager. I wonder who they'd get. Who's good enough? Who's good enough to still keep this Manchester City team winning titles? Because they're amazing, yes, but without the right manager, doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win things. Bellanova into the box. It's deflected behind for a corner in the 6th minute of 5 minutes added on. Bloody hell! Inzaghi's trying to fight people. Woo! Onana's up in the box. Flicked on. Oh, what a save, Ederson. What a save by Ederson. Jesus. When you needed him most. When you needed him most. What a save by Ederson. Champions League winners then. Manchester City. The treble has been won, and now it is not only scum that hold a treble. Manchester City, their fiercest rivals from the other side of Manchester, have won a Champions League final and a treble to match them. Well done to Manchester City. Unbelievable season they've had. They've been absolutely unbelievable. They're an unstoppable force. You always knew really that they were going to come back and overtake Arsenal, and they've gone and won a Champions League as well. Well done to them. Well done to all the players. Happy for Calvin Phillips. Didn't get on the pitch, unfortunately, but what a save that was. Fantastic game. City winning to better the Scum City beat Scum in FA Cup. I think that's English. I can't make sense of it. But yeah, well done to Manchester City. Lautaro Martinez crying there. Bloody hell, they've won a treble. Rodri with the winning goal in the Champions League. I hate Champions League finals when it's just 1-0. Why can't you get a Champions League final where it's 4-3? Right, Calvin, you've won a treble. Come back to Leeds now. Taking a mick. Haaland's first Champions League as well. Look at him, he can't stop smiling. Calvin going straight over to Erling. The Leeds mates. Oh, look, there's scribing Manchester City onto the trophy. Cheers, Mark. Edison, man of the match. I just want to see Calvin lift the trophy. Inzaghi was going a bit mental towards the end then. I don't know if he's calmed down yet, but Ruben Diaz with that unbelievable header. You got Edison with game-winning, game-saving saves. But yeah, Manchester City was just too much in the end, and De Bruyne got injured in like the 30th minute. Two Leeds-born supporting lads, Haaland and Calvin, yeah, true. I mean, Stones is from Barnsley, so not too far away. That save from Edison at the end. People always say that. A lot of people say that Alisson's better than Edison. I've always preferred Edison. De Vrij there. Just 1,000-yard stare. Tells a story. He didn't get on the pitch in the end, but yeah. I mean, the team who actually came to try and play football and win a game won, and you kind of got to be happy for that. That's a victory for football. They've cheated to get here. Let's not lie here. I mean, the BT coverage, nobody's mentioning this, but they have cheated to get here. But if we're just talking about the actual players and forgetting that, then yeah, they've done unbelievably well. And the fact that they were able to play attractive football to win and not just sit back and defend constantly, I think football won. My God, it is hot in here. I feel sorry for Jack Harrison not being on the Manchester City treble winning team. Yeah, a few years ago since he left there. That'll be Brozovic's last chance to win a Champions League. Rodri with a winning goal in the Champions League final. What a feeling that must be. Grealish will be on a bender now, yeah. Just watching Rodri's interview. Oh, and I've lost connection. as I wanted to watch Rodri's interview, but now I can't. Everything seems to have gone wrong. I think people can still see me, though. I hope. Oh, we've had a few people drop out just because obviously the game's finished, but we're just going to chill here for a minute. Bloody hell. Nothing's working. Let me just try one more thing, and if not, then we'll just... Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing there. I can't bloody get it. I've literally got sweat dripping down my head. It's that hot. I can't get it to come back on again. Oh well. I wanted to see the trophy lift and stuff. Doesn't look like we're going to get to. Thanks everybody for joining me during this stream, by the way. I know it's not Leeds, but everybody seemed to... Everybody wanted to seem to want to come and join me anyway, so I appreciate that. Oh, we've got an interview with Grealish now. Great stream as always, Max. Thanks for reading out our comments. Yeah, no worries, Michael. Thanks for joining me again, mate. You're always here, always supporting, so I really appreciate you being taking time out of your day to join me. Makes me emotional. Just seeing my family and that in the crowd, it just makes me emotional. That's what Grealish is saying at the moment. It shows you that Leeds are light years away from... Oh, yeah. It's like a different sport, isn't it? Really. I'd love to be on this level. I would love to be on this level, but I wouldn't love to just instantly be there. I'd like to have a journey to get there. Oh, there's Calvin. Come on, KP and Haaland, lift that trophy. I wonder if Pep will stay, you know. I'm sure he was just staying until he won a Champions League, and he's done it now, so... Interesting to see what happens. Take all the subs off for a nice clean template whilst we just watch the trophy lift. A weird stadium, isn't it? It's an Olympic stadium, so there's just massive gaps between the pitch and the fans and the stadium. I was envious of West Ham winning that trophy the other night, wishing it was Leeds. The thing is, it wasn't that far off. Like, when we finished 9th, if we'd have finished a few places higher, we could have had Europa League and we could have been playing European football. And West Ham had a really bad season in the Premier League this year and still won a European trophy. So, it wasn't that far away from us at the point where we finished that first season back up. Michelle saying, yeah, thank you for the stream. I watched the game, but always enjoy your content. Looking forward to carry on watching and marching on together. Yeah, thank you, Michelle. Thanks for joining me as always in these streams. Always nice to have you and read out your comments and stuff. But yeah, there will be plenty more Leeds United content on the way. This is just a one-off for the Champions League final, because I wanted to watch it and I thought, well, let's get some content and do it on the channel and have a chat with all the people who are usually in here. So it was better listening to your live commentary than watching the Champions League final on TV. Thanks. Cheers, away. Lily UFC Will, hi pal, when do you think the manager will be official? Not necessarily official next week, but by the end of next week, I expect we've got a firm favourite and we know who's probably going to be the manager. You could see that by the end of the week that we actually do have a manager, but for something solid, by the end of next week, I would say. Would you put Pep on the same level as Sir Alex or higher? Well, I think football's completely different now, isn't it? And I think Sir Alex Ferguson was like a master motivator more than anything, and not necessarily the greatest tactician in the world. Whereas I think Pep Guardiola is genuinely the best tactician in the world and is an unbelievable football manager and football coach, primarily a coach. And that's what I like about what Pep does, is that it's his coaching that is what wins his football games, not necessarily just his man management, which he obviously has to be good at as well. And he does have the best players and the best team and the best staff and the best lawyers and everything. But he's just an unbelievable football coach. He's just so good as a tactician. See you, Michelle. But yeah, so therefore I would put Pep higher. But I could be slightly biased as well because I hate Sir Alex Ferguson and I hate Man United and I hate everything they stand for. Oh my God, I'm sweaty. First time watching your watch along. Oh, cheers, Top Banana. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, usually it's a little bit less relaxed than this, and there's less questions about which takeaway is my favourite and stuff. It's more focused on football with the Leeds stuff as well. But yeah, it's mostly similar to what I do usually. Champions League trophy, I think he's going to be going and put on the podium where Gundogan's going to lift it at any moment now. This will be one of the longest streams I've ever... Oh, actually, I was going to say this will be the longest stream I've ever done because of the trophy lift and all that stuff as well. But there was that game, when Arsenal came to Ellen Road and they had a power cut and they didn't have any VAR and we had to wait about 40 minutes for the game to restart again. And that was the longest stream ever, I think. But this will be up there. He's put the Champions League trophy the wrong way around. Why has he done that? Surely he should put it the other way around. Or maybe it's just so they can pick it up that way and turn it around and do it. Oh, bloody hell. We've got to wait for the refs and the runner-ups before we can get the actual Man City trophy lift of the final. Joe was saying the manager for Leeds could be someone not on the list because the 49ers are a professional outfit and keep their business under the radar. My guess would be the level of Bielsa. It'd have to be... See, Bielsa was like enigmatic though, wasn't he? Like, he was an amazing coach, but wouldn't necessarily be at the top European clubs just because of how radical he was in his way of thinking. So you'd have to go for somebody that was a little bit like that as well. And they were on about Paco Gallardo. I don't know whether he would still be on the cards in the Championship. But it remains to be seen. I'd like to see it be somebody a little bit different. But yeah, hopefully we find out soon, and I can do a load of research into them and provide a video where everybody can understand a little bit more about them. Lautaro Martinez, Leeds, Inzaghi, and the rest of the Inter Milan team down the Guard of Honour to the podium where they're going to get their runners-up medals. But Inter Milan could be proud of themselves tonight. They really, really held their own for most of that game. But in the end, they just couldn't score that vital goal to get back. There. Michael Brown saying Iraola might be in the frame, played under Bielsa at Bilbao and has left his Spanish club. Yeah, I've done a video on him. If you want to go and watch that, it's probably one of my best videos, actually. But it kind of died in the water when it was gaining views because it got told that he wasn't going to be he definitely wasn't going to be the coach. But it's one of my best videos. It's called Iraola Leeds Tactics Explained, Bielsa Ball with Tactical Flexibility. And I think it's a perfect mix, the way he plays, of what Bielsa did and then being a little bit more pragmatic as well, and defending a little bit better. So, not to say that he's a better coach than Bielsa, but just his philosophy, I like it, and I think he'd be excellent. He'd be my choice if we could get him in. But yeah, if you want to go and check that out, I'd advise it, because if he is coming in, then he'd be absolutely brilliant as a coach. The only thing is, I wouldn't get another video out of it, and I'm not cheeky enough to re-upload the same one. Wayne May saying, how does City scrape through that? Well, the thing is, they had those two or three chances into Milan, but other than that, they didn't really create much. They sat back the whole time, and City did really deserve to win in the end. See, you say that, AO, but in the Championship, we actually had, I'm not sure if it was the best, but it was certainly in the top 3 best defences in the league. It was just that when we got to the Premier League, our players weren't good enough to pull off what he wanted to do. And that became the issue in the end, because actually in the Championship, we were really, really good at defending. We would swarm around everyone, and we would always win the ball back, and stop teams really getting at us. So, yeah. Here goes Edison, leading the Manchester City players down the Guard of Honour towards that trophy. There's Rodri, Sergio Gomez. Pep Guardiola now in front, gets his winner's medal. Now, Pep Guardiola's won the Champions League before, but I don't think any of the other Manchester City players have ever won a Champions League. Certainly not some of the younger ones. Oh, yeah, the captain goes last, doesn't he? So he can pick up the trophy. There's Rodri giving it a kiss. Sergio Gomez and Julian Alvarez going to... I'm surprised Julian Alvarez didn't get on, to be honest. Oh, look, there goes Calvin kissing his medal and... going and kissing the trophy. Oh, he didn't show us Calvin kissing the trophy. Jack Grealish as well. Scott Carson has. I forgot about Scott Carson. There he is, just granddad bringing up the rear. Michael Brown, as good as Leeds were, in the Championship, the Premier League is a different level. Yeah, and that's why we needed the right investment in the right players to be able to play his system, and we didn't have that. And in the end, it didn't work out. Scott Carson, Champions League medal. Oh, yeah. Oh, he actually has. I thought you were joking, Wayne. But yeah, he has. It's 2005. He was here at the same stadium. 2005. Jesus. And he's still playing. Akanji and Ake now, and Diaz walking past the trophy, and De Bruyne in his trainers, which looks weird. I feel like De Bruyne should have kept his boots on, because he's now going to look weird in all his Champions League final photos. Now Gundogan, captain of Manchester City, is presented with his winner's medal, and he walks over to the trophy. Gundogan walks over to the Manchester City teammates. He goes to stand behind them all, or in the middle of them all. Let him through, let him through. Look at Calvin's face. Look at his little face. There they are, lifting the trophy. Manchester City are treble winners, Champions League winners. Calvin Phillips has won a Champions League without really playing, but we'll just ignore that part. He's won a Champions League. He's done what he set out to do. But he should come back to Leeds. But there we go. Manchester City win the Champions League at last. All the fireworks going off around the stadium. Michael saying Leeds and Leicester will be the team that the other championship clubs will raise their game to beat this time around. No Pablo to unlock tight defences at Ellen Road. Yeah, that is a little bit of a worry, isn't it? But hopefully we sign players. And Jorginho Rutter, I'm bagging him to be the absolute star of this season. 3 games Phillips played. Jesus. There they are, Manchester City Champions League winners. Haaland and De Bruyne are giving it a big old hug there. I'd be annoyed. Guardiola's just getting a camera shoved right in his face. I'd be annoyed. I'd be like, get out my face. Just let me celebrate. Look how many staff are coming in now. And they might have it all taken away if found guilty of FFP. Lol. Yeah. Will Rutter stay as he must have a relegation clause? I feel like he might stay. It's all up in the air, innit? We need to start seeing some movement, and whether that's players going, oh my god, that guy looks like Woody Harrelson. The guy with Gundogan and Pep Guardiola there looks just like Woody Harrelson. Wait, don't change the screen. Oh, bloody hell, that tweet would have banged. It's gone. Let's see. Let's do a little quick Google and see if Rutter has a release clause. Could have contract clause on the 15th of March. But you don't know, really, do you? Talking about Iraola, I think if he offered the correct package, Leeds could get him. Yeah, they could do. And I think, like I said from that video I made before, I think he'd be brilliant. I think he'd be so good. My top wish list for the 49ers is to build us a new stadium and make Ellen Road the training grounds for our youth team. I don't think that's really going to happen. If anything, they redevelop they're going to redevelop the West Stand, which is the oldest part of the ground, and then slowly work their way around and do the whole ground eventually, probably. But yeah, there's no way really that they'll do that. And Ellen Road, if it was going to stay there, if that was the case, if they're building a new one, it would get demolished. It wouldn't be a training ground. It doesn't really happen. But yeah, I've done a video on what's going to happen with the stadium if they're able to get back into the Premier League and stuff. What will happen with the stadium? So if you want to look at that, it's only about a minute and a half long, 2 minutes long. It explains what the plan is for the stadium. It's still relevant. There goes Haaland lifting the trophy. Just look at the amount of Manchester City backroom staff here. That's what I was thinking, yeah, when they all came on the screen. It was like, bloody hell, there's about 500 of them. Just got an interview with Gundogan now. Singing Hey Jude now, the Manchester City fans. Rodri lifting it 3 times. Now Edison and Ruben Diaz going to try and lift it together. I want to see one Calvin lift. Then I'll be happy. I always feel sorry for the players who get collared by the interviewers when they're trying to celebrate with the fans and they celebrate with the rest of their teammates. Like, you'd be like, oh my God, leave me alone. Just let me celebrate. And a lot of the time they do. They just go, oh, sorry, I've got to go. And they just go and celebrate, which is fair enough, to be honest, because I think sometimes they take the mick a bit with trying to get them for interviews. But fair play to Gundogan. He's doing like a bloody full podcast with the interviewer here. Oh look, he's just asked Gundogan to sign his armband on live TV. The potential is there for Leeds, one city club with huge history, big fan base, just like Newcastle. The right investment could work wonders, not just for Leeds United, but for the city being the fourth largest. Yet, honestly, the potential is just massive and it's untapped with Leeds. We are absolutely a sleeping giant. And this could be us one day, but it just needs a lot of money. It just needs a lot of money. And a bit of financial doping as well. That always goes a long way. My God, there's so many Manchester City staff on the pitch. So many. There's bloody hundreds of them. How much City have spent to win that trophy? Yeah. A lot of money. But then you've seen that people like Manchester United have spent a similar amount and not won anything. So that's the difference in having a manager, a real manager that can win you things. Now Manchester City players are all walking through the media teams towards the fans because the fans are so far away from the pitch. Tell you what I should add to my live streams, a live sub count. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, I didn't realise that Ash had clipped that up. God, my Twitter's had so many mentions. Oh, I said to clip it up. I did say to clip it up. Oh, I'll have to watch that back and reply to Ash when he's put that. For God's sake. He's proper done me there. Two times Champions League winner Scott Carson. Robbie Knox has tweeted, absolutely buzzing for Sheikh Mansour. I think Silva and Gundogan last match for Man City. Really? Where would Bernardo Silva go? What's the rumour? Haaland is absolutely loving it, lapping it up. De Bruyne just came out of that crowd and was holding on to Haaland for dear life, like, "Oh, help me, protect me." Two of those City staffers are responsible for one of Stones' armpits each. I can't believe that his armpits were bald. That was such a shock to me. Why would I don't understand why you would shave your armpits. But I am quite hairy. Oh, look, Foden and Phillips celebrating. No limbs if that was us were on the pitch. Yeah, true. That's the only shame, that City's fans are just like a bit crap, really. Mika Richards is on a bender on American TV. Oh yeah, I could probably see that. Cole Palmer just holding the Champions League trophy. I bet he doesn't want to let it go. Just, if anybody saw Kyle Walker there, every time that guy tried to take a photo with him, he was like looking at him sideways like that rather than actually looking at the camera. Well, they've done it. Manchester City have won the treble. Michael Brown, PSG and Barcelona in the running for Silva and Gundogan. I feel like Gundogan is someone you need to keep hold of. He comes in clutch so many times. And Silva as well. You've got rid of David Silva now, Bernardo Silva, Sane, and they just keep winning. They just still keep winning. Who are you going to put instead? That old boy pretending to drink beer and... Julian Alvarez lifting it. He's just won a World Cup as well, Julian Alvarez, so bloody hell, he's on top of the world. In 1 year, Julian Alvarez in 1 year has won the World Cup final, the FA Cup, the Premier League, and a Champions League. That's unbelievable. Heard Paddy Kenny organised a party. Leeds should try and get Cole Palmer on loan and McAtee from Manchester City. Yeah, I mean we could go for loans like that of real top talents for people like Manchester City and stuff. Oh, John Stone's about to do an interview and I've bloody pulled my headphones out again. Rude. I feel so pleased and so pleasured. He's holding words back because he's on camera, he's saying. Rodri's just celebrating with his wife there, or his partner. Don't know whether they're married. Let Calvin have a go on the trophy now. Let him lift it. It's unbelievable, isn't it, that he's playing like John Stones is like the number 8 and he's just pushing up into the midfield. It's just... My God, I'm dying of heat in here. I need to have a cold shower after this. Oh my God, we've been live for nearly 3 hours. How the hell do people do those How the hell do people do those like 24-hour live streams? I suppose they're not in probably the hottest room in the world, are they? But there's literally a fan on here in here as well, but it's pointing at the camera to keep that cool. Alvarez also won the Confederation Cup, beating Italy at Wembley in 2022, as well as the Copa America title with Argentina. Yeah, mental, innit? Absolutely mental and ridiculous. Oh my God, they've got Noel Gallagher reporting from a pub. That's a mess on the pitch, innit, for them to clear up. Inter had 14 attempts. Manchester City only 7. Cheers, John. Top stream worth the 3 hours. Yeah, I thought I forgot that it would be this long, to be honest, when I was on about doing the Champions League final. But I'm glad everybody joined me for it. I didn't think they would, really, because it's not to do with Leeds. Usually stuff that's not to do with Leeds doesn't do too great, but he's over the moon, Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker just talking about how he's dealt with it, not getting the start in the final and stuff, and he said just being a leader, and that's what Leeds need more of. People who are leaders, people who are willing to sit on the bench and come on and do their bit to try and achieve the goals. And this season it's going to be to get back to the Premier League. Mario Balotelli just standing there, cool as anything. That was the quickest 3 hours I've ever spent watching a live stream. I'm not saying that myself, that's what AO said. I'll tell you what we can do. Do you know what? I mean, it sounds a bit seedy if I say Leeds lately after hours, but I more mean that... 1 second. Remind me later. Brightness. Oh, there we go. That's much better. I don't have bloody bright lights on my face now. Will I be doing further streams during the summer break? Probably, unless if there's live football from Leeds that I can actually get, then I'll do a live stream. But if it's not on, like, I probably won't do random live streams. I don't really do like chatting live stream sort of thing. I'd go on other people's channels to do them. It'll be more videos about tactics and signings and all that sort of thing that you can see. There's so many Manchester City staff on the on the pitch. It's unbelievable how many there is. I think Gundogan's missus is trying to get a selfie with him. These lately after hours sounds like a lock-in at a pub. Yeah. As I've noticed, a number of Leeds content creators not doing any live streams apart from one or two. Well, yeah, I suppose most people do them just during the season when the games are on. But I did one on Ollie Ward's channel the other day. That's about a 2-hour live stream that we did with me, Jer, and Ollie, talking about the whole squad, who should stay, who should go, sell, loan, bench, or keep. I think there were 4 categories or something. We went through the whole squad, whole first team squad, and put them all into a category and talked about how we think we should set up in the championship and stuff. So that's a good one if you wanted more Leeds content. That's a good one to watch. Mike saying, well done, Max. Enjoyed hanging with you for the Fallout. Yep, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate everybody who has joined me, all the loyal Leeds Lately people who've always supported me in these streams and stuff since the start. And I remember my first streams, I would get like not many people in really at all. It'd probably be sort of 5 to 10, the amount that's sort of in now, but obviously that's because the game finished about 20 minutes ago, half an hour ago, but or even more ago, it's finished about 40 minutes ago, the game. Bloody hell. But yeah, and we've come a long way really in terms of subscribers on the channel in general and in total, and also people who actually join me for these live streams. So yeah, I really appreciate everybody who does join me. Michael saying, especially like yours and Joe's analysis, you both go in depth, so I'd like to hear more from you during the summer months. Yeah, I will be uploading a lot more. Towards the end of this season, I really just didn't even upload that much, just because I just wasn't enjoying Leeds. And it's totally understandable, I think, because Leeds were terrible. Leeds were really bad and just horrible to watch. We would just lose every game. We'd conceded shit ton of goals. It was just awful to watch. And so, yeah, I just lost interest a little bit in actually making... I would watch all the games, but not necessarily make all the content around it as well. I would do all the live streams because that's content whilst watching the games. But the other stuff, I just sort of went off it a little bit because Leeds were just so bad and it was just awful having to talk about it, really. I was already doing the live shows with Joe's channel, yeah, and there'll be definitely more content on the way this summer, especially summer. I love doing stuff about transfers and tactics and all that sort of stuff. John saying, I'm a muppet. I've always watched streams on my TV and wondered why I can't chat until I got told to use my tablet for that. What a plonker. Yeah, well, I'm glad you've found out that you could use your tablet, because it's been great having you in the stream and having a chat with you, John. So yeah, that's good that you've figured that one out. Michael saying, Max, from where you first started not that long ago, I've noticed you've gone past the 5k mark, so you're growing well. Yeah, I reckon. Night Top Banana, thanks for joining us. Yeah, I reckon I could have had a lot more subscribers by now. I think at one point me and Jer were on a similar sort of trajectory, and then Jer is just so consistent and so good at keeping up with the latest news and putting it out every day that he's doubled me now. He's absolutely smashed it out of the park. So yeah, Jer's unbelievable, and he's such a good content creator and a good... He's a UEFA B licensed coach as well, so yeah, he's been brilliant. And I sort of went off the boil a little bit, and like I say, just slowed down with things just because it's so bad watching Leeds. But it's this new era, and before anything goes wrong, I'll be excited to make loads of content this summer about everything that's going on with Leeds, transfers, ownership, management, everything. So yeah. Anyway, I think I'm actually going to call it a night there, so that I can actually get some sleep before I wake up in the morning. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the support over the last couple of years on the channel, and people who have been in it from the start, and people who come and join my live streams every week. I support Leeds no matter what division they're in. How bad they are playing. Bielsa time was a magical part from last season, but he had to go. And then Matt B saying, even though it will be a championship this coming season, potential to be far more enjoyable. Agreed with that as well. And John saying guaranteed we'd be on Sky for the first game. Well, if it's a home game, I'll probably be going to it if I can get a ticket. And if it's an away game, we'll probably be on Sky. But we'll find out the fixtures, and I'll probably do maybe a little video about the fixtures as well, a little short video, because there's not that much you can talk about with the fixtures. But the fixture list will be out, and it'll be a little news segment to put in one of my videos. But yeah, thanks everybody for joining me. Really appreciate that. We've had 1,200 views throughout the course of this, so that's unbelievable for a game that wasn't about Leeds. So that just shows how good you guys are at coming in and supporting me, no matter what I'm doing. But yeah, thanks for watching this one. Thanks for joining us in general this season. I have uploaded a video today, so if you haven't seen that one already, I would recommend you go and check that one out, about my thoughts on the 49ers and what happens next. I know we've discussed a lot of it in today's stream, tonight's stream, but yeah, I'd appreciate if you went and checked that one out as well, and hit that sub button if you're not subbed. Yeah, thanks everybody for joining me, and I shall see you next time on Leeds Lately. Hopefully the next video will be announcing the manager, and then also there'll be a tactics video on the manager as well. So yeah, it should be plenty more. Excuse me, it's been talking for so long. Plenty more Leeds United content on the way. But yes, Manchester City are European champions. Leeds United are hopefully going to be champions of the Championship at the end of this season. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Leeds Lately with more content on the way.